It's a really challenging language to speak because it was developed to be spoken from the ecology, from the physiology of the yautja, which have a crazy throat and teeth that don't let the mouths close and mandibles that click and manipulate. So I literally cannot even utter it correctly. But had I been able to, that would have been great.
It was a challenge, definitely trying to get my head around the language at first. Sometimes there'd be days where the lines would have to change, so I had to kind of just learn the yautja on the spot. But yeah, it was honestly such a cool experience. I think it's something that I never thought that I would ever kind of do in a film or on a job. And yeah, I feel like it's really kind of widened my skill set as an actor and given me a lot of confidence, going forward, knowing that, certain challenges or obstacles I can, overcome. So yeah, it was really cool.
Hey Dan, how's it going?
It's good, man. I'm excited to see you guys. This is awesome. I remember our chat from last time.
Yeah, it was just all the way back in June, and here we are. We're still in the Predator world again. I'm a fellow Daniel, and this is my co-host Shahbaz.
Hi there.
Hey, man.
We've loved so much of what you've done in this world so far with Prey, with Killer of Killers, and now with Badlands. Each time you've been in here, you've taken things in different directions, and now to have a story where where the Predator is the lead character and, they're not going to have their mask on for the majority of the film. What was it about going in this direction for Badlands that you knew this is the way you wanted to go?
We haven't seen this movie. We haven't seen it in the Predator franchise. We haven't seen it in science fiction. And I think some of our favorite characters in all of sci-fi are the creatures, are the monsters, and they've never been the lead of their own movie. And in thinking of the characterization of Deck and what a Predator protagonist could feel like, I thought that would be so fun for a movie, and the pairing of him and Thia. T2 was a huge inspiration of, Prey is to Terminator what Badlands is to T2. Just wanted to take it one step further and not have a John Connor as the lead and and him as the buddies, to actually have him as the lead and give him a robot buddy, so to speak.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. When I was in initial conversations with Dan, before we were shooting, trying to find Dick essentially and, build him from the ground up, that was something that really attracted me to, this film, was that it's such a new direction. It's such a unique premise that he's kind of trying to take, and having a yautja as the protagonist, it's something that's never been done in the franchise. So I guess having you see his face throughout the whole film is something that is so unexpected, but I think it was really cool just to be able to follow, Dick throughout his first hunt. We get to invest in his story and travel with him on his journey, feel what he's feeling. A lot of people ask me, how did I find the humanity within Dick? But I really don't like that phrasing, because he's not human. He's an alien. He will rip your face off, if you're, coming the wrong way. But I think the themes that he embodies, his resilience, when confronted with adversity, the way he's able to rise, to the challenge, those were things that I really resonated with and things that I loved about his character. So, I honestly, it's a privilege to be able to bring him to the big screen and be able to tell his story and, get fans hyped about it. This is something that fans have been waiting for such a long time, to see a Predator in this light. So, being able to bring that to audiences, it's a dream, bro.
And we also love the inclusion of just having yautja being spoken the entire time. Was there any time where you were learning the language as well and speaking to Dimitrius on set, like talking smack about everybody else?
What a great idea. I wish I could. It's a really challenging language to speak because it was developed to be spoken from the ecology, from the physiology of the yautja, which have a crazy throat and teeth that don't let the mouths close and mandibles that click and manipulate. So I literally cannot even utter it correctly. But had I been able to, that would have been great. And to like direct in Yautja. Maybe maybe next time around. Yeah, exactly.
I wish someone else knew the language with me on set so we could be conversating. It was just me for a long time, but yeah, it was a challenge. Definitely trying to get my head around the language at first. Then sometimes there'd be days where the lines would have to change, so I had to kind of just learn the Yautja on the spot. But yeah, it was honestly such a cool experience. I think it's something that I never thought that I would ever kind of do in a film or on a job. And yeah, I feel like it's really kind of widened my skill set as an actor and given me a lot of confidence, going forward, knowing that certain challenges or obstacles I can overcome. So yeah, it was really cool. It was funny because sometimes I'd just be speaking Yautja to the crew and no one knows what I'm saying. We do a take and I'm like, everyone's like, that's amazing. And I was like, no one knows what I'm saying, but it's fine.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
Yeah, you have a new way of like talking smack about people at a restaurant, for example.
Yeah, literally. I could just be saying the craziest stuff and no one will know. So I might give it a go.
We were so happy when we got to see the addition of Dutch in the Killer of Killers post-credits scene. And it's really crazy. We were just sitting here thinking about how we're getting a new Predator film this month and a new Running Man movie this month. And we're like, whoa, both those films came out in 87 with Arnold the first time. Like, it's crazy that we're getting them again. Like, that must feel crazy for you.
And we almost were coming out on the same day. Originally, Running Man was also on November 7th, and it moved a week. So, yeah, we're in a real Schwarzenheimer, situation, or almost were. But I agree. It is pretty wild. Yeah, I think Running Man looks awesome. So it looks like we're gonna have a great little period of going to the movies.
We just got to ask, you like Shay said, you are so incredible in this film, and you get to work alongside Elle Fanning, who you just have an incredible relationship with in Badlands. What was it like getting to know her and getting to share literally these back-to-back scenes together?
Yeah, man, it was crazy, to be honest. When I was first told that she would literally be starring in the film, I kind of didn't believe it, and I was kind of nervous, to be honest. Someone of that caliber, kind of never really know what to expect. But man, she's so down to earth. She's, probably one of the kindest humans I've come across. And I was just trying to soak up as much game as I could, working with someone, as wonderful as her. She's an amazing actress, amazing performer. Really knows what she's doing. She's about her business, and yeah, man, I had no complaints. She's awesome.
The score also for the movie is absolutely banging. Like, what was the idea behind it? Like, how did you sit down and say, like, this is kind of what I want? Because we were just getting, like, our heart was just increasing throughout the entire film,
especially in IMAX. Like, I think our physiology is different now.
Yeah, after inside.
That's awesome. You said the score? Is that what you're talking about? The music?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah, I got to collaborate with Sarah Schachner, who I did Prey with, and Ben Wallfish, who we did Kill of Killers with, and the score really started because it's challenging to come up with a sound that feels appropriate for the Yautja culture, but also makes sense in the thrill ride that is on the alien landscape that we enter. And I looked to one of the first things that had me falling in love with Sarah's music was the score she did for a now deceased game Anthem. And there's a performance of hers on YouTube where she was at the Game Awards with a live orchestra, and she used a very unique instrument called a vocoder in a way that we don't often hear it employed. And so that really formed the sound of the Yautja and the Yautja culture, and on that planet, and Deck himself as the hero, and to not let go of the traditional sweeping kind of score that we heard in Prey, and making sure the journey we were on felt as emotional as it was visceral. So that was the basis for how we embarked on score.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned Anthem, because I know you're a big gamer. And when we were watching this as big gamers ourselves, we were like, this feels like the almost like the video game movie that we've been waiting our whole lives to kind of see on the big screen. So we'd love to know, like, what were those maybe games that you were looking at as influences coming into Predator Badlands?
I mean, in some ways, all games. Someone actually pointed out to me, and this was not conscious, but probably subconscious, that because you kind of get to see him using all of his weapons at the start, and then they get taken away from him, that it's almost like the tutorial then becomes the like, and now the game begins. But there's quite often in video games, there's a character that's whether it's Cortana in Halo, or I think Mimir in God of War, the head that he has on his side. I mean, that's a very, and Prince of Persia was one of the, and Uncharted, all of them have a sidekick to help embrace the hero's reluctance and also allow there to be banter along the way. There's a big Monster Hunter component to the movie. There's a big Shadow of the Colossus component to the movie, and probably so many more that are steeped in my subconscious that came pouring out.
Dan, again, we were so grateful for your time, and we absolutely loved the hell out of this movie, and we can't wait to see you back in this world again. Just please don't leave Predator. You're in great hands.
Awesome. I'm so relieved and stoked that you guys dug the movie, so thank you.